People manufacture weapons with the aim of destroying the enemy as quickly as possible. However, in the Ukrainian battlefield, there are some people who produce weapons, hoping to be destroyed by the enemy as quickly as possible. These individuals don't create real weapons. Instead, they make fake weapons designed to lure the enemy into attacking. They have various production lines, crafting replicas of Ukrainian D-20 howitzers, American M777 howitzers, and different anti-aircraft missiles. Whenever the Ukrainian army uses them, this company tries its best to replicate them. Before the war, this company was Ukraine's largest metallurgical company and had never been involved in arms manufacturing. However, with the outbreak of the Ukrainian conflict, this company found a new business opportunity. These fake weapons serve two main purposes. First, they aim to save Ukrainian lives. If Russian missiles hit these fake weapons, they won't target Ukrainian civilians. Second, these decoys are meant to deplete Russia's weapon stockpile, including costly items like suicide drones, cruise missiles, and shells. The cost of these fake weapons is only a fraction of the cost of real ones. The company's spokesperson mentioned that war is expensive, and they want Russia to spend a significant amount of money using drones and missiles to destroy these decoys. After all, drones and missiles are much more expensive than their decoys. Creating convincing fake weapons is essential. They must not be made of just wood or cheap plastic, as they need to fool Russian drones and radar. In other words, even though these are fake weapons, a significant portion of them is made from metal. However, the company manages to keep costs very low. For instance, a real American M777 howitzer costs nearly $5 million, while a Ukrainian decoy costs only $1,000. Initially, these decoys were quite rudimentary, but as the war progressed, Ukrainians learned how to make them more convincing. They determined their success or failure by how long a decoy survived on the battlefield. If a decoy lasted too long, the company's designers would redesign that type. Recently, CNN interviewed this company. In the video, you can see that these weapon decoys are incredibly realistic, with detailed features and even recoil mechanisms at the cannon's muzzle. Drones in the air cannot distinguish between these fake and real weapon systems, which often leads to deception by Ukrainians. In another video, Ukrainian soldiers demonstrated a decoy for a Javelin anti-tank missile. From a distance, it's nearly impossible to tell that it's fake, as all the essential components are present. Ukrainian soldiers even easily picked up the decoy, indicating that they are mostly made of lightweight materials like plastic or wood. In the video's conclusion, a Ukrainian soldier removed one of the decoy supports. So far, hundreds, if not thousands, of these decoys have been destroyed by Russia, and the company is continuously expanding its production to meet the needs of the Ukrainian army. Ukraine has been using such decoys for quite some time. As early as last year, a Czech company provided inflatable decoys, including inflatable tanks and HIMARS, to Ukraine. These decoys quickly became targets for Russia. On September 2, 2022, the Russian Ministry of Defense claimed to have successfully destroyed 44 HIMARS systems. However, it's likely that their data is inaccurate, as the actual number of HIMARS in Ukraine was much lower. We know that HIMARS likely arrived on the Ukrainian battlefield around June 2022. As of September, Ukraine had obtained approximately 20 HIMARS systems. Taking a December 2022 news report as an example, it mentioned that by the end of 2022, roughly 20 HIMARS systems were actively engaged on the Ukrainian battlefield. In other words, the data from the Russian Ministry of Defense is undoubtedly inaccurate. There are only two possible explanations. Firstly, Russia exaggerated its battle reports, and secondly, many of the targets Russia claimed to have hit were actually Ukrainian decoys. I believe that both explanations could coexist simultaneously. HIMARS dramatically changed the dynamics on the Ukrainian battlefield after arriving last summer. Despite their limited numbers, these equipment systems represent a core long-range striking force for the Ukrainian army. Therefore, Ukraine took extensive measures to defend against HIMARS. In April of this year, the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense released a video titled Captain HIMARS. In this video, a fully armed soldier showcased the Ukrainian army's use of HIMARS systems. He also stated that Ukraine had concealed HIMARS within Soviet-era fortifications designed to withstand nuclear attacks. Despite Russia's claims of destroying many HIMARS systems, Ukrainian soldiers asserted that Ukraine hadn't lost any HIMARS systems. Russian forces even once mistook a John Deere tractor for a Leopard 2 tank. This illustrates how easily Russia can be deceived by these highly convincing fake weapons. In June of this year, as Ukraine launched its counteroffensive, the Russian Ministry of Defense released a video claiming that a Ka-52 helicopter had destroyed a German Leopard 2 tank using an anti-tank missile. In the video published by the Russian Ministry of Defense, it's clear that the vehicle targeted is not a tank, it has wheels instead of tracks and resembles a tractor. Nevertheless, the Russian pilot aimed at this tractor without hesitation and launched an anti-tank missile to destroy it. However, after the video was released by the Russian Ministry of Defense, military enthusiasts quickly recognized that it wasn't a German tank but rather a John Deere 4830 tractor, primarily used for pesticide spraying. If even Russian military personnel couldn't distinguish between a John Deere tractor and a German Leopard 2 tank, it becomes quite challenging for Russia to accurately identify hundreds or thousands of these highly convincing decoy weapons. One can only imagine how much ammunition and money Russia has wasted on these decoys. These decoys might be the only targets Russia can accurately hit.